Hey, I'm Tormod Anderson. Welcome to what I think is the third episode of my Covlog 19s. In this episode, I think I'll be going over my second newest hobby, as opposed to my newest hobby, which is the guitar, which you may have seen if you watched the last episode. Anyway, this one is going to be, as you may have seen, my second newest hobby, which is dice collecting. No, Dungeons and Dragons. Now, I understand. Dungeons and Dragons and similar role-playing games have a little bit of a, in the past, a negative connotation to them as being games for nerds. Well, I'll have you know I'm a massive nerd, as you can see by the absurd amount of dice. And anyway, this will be Tormod's Dumb Guide to D&D. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, you're probably wondering, why would you need to learn how to play D&D when you're in quarantine? Because the whole point of it is to be like, connecting with friends, and you can't do that. And to that I say nay. Because, even though, yes, Dungeons and Dragons is originally meant to be played with people together in the same room, you can get even more introverted by completely ignoring the fact that you have to be in the same room as other people. There's several online services that you can use to play Dungeons and Dragons with other people, and many of them, if, I'm assuming most people are new to the hobby. I'm pretty new to the hobby too. They'll give you tutorials. You don't actually need anything other than, maybe a pen. If you're feeling frisky, you could purchase a dice, a single dice. But really, you don't need anything other than a pen and some paper. And even then, you could just use a laptop. You don't need anything besides what you have readily available. You just need your mind. You just need a little bit of imagination. And technically speaking, you don't even need anybody else, which might help some people, seeing as we're all kind of isolated in this whole quarantine thing. But what I'm trying to say is Dungeons & Dragons is very easy to get into as a hobby, and you only have to put in as much effort as you want to. You only have to invest as much as you want to. You don't even need to purchase one of these Tormod's Dumb Guide official Dungeons & Dragons books. Sponsor. No. What I'm trying to say is it's a cheap hobby. And as I tried to focus on my last guitar video, you don't have to spend a bunch of money on something you're not sure you're going to love. Same thing with D&D. For example, one site that me and my friends have been using, I'm the Dungeon Master for for a campaign for some of my friends from college. It's one of the best ways I've found to stay in touch with them. One platform is Astral Tabletop. There's Roll20. There's D&D Beyond. You can find free PDFs of every single Dungeons & Dragons source book that you could ever want. You could look up the rules just for free. You could roll dice online. You don't even have to buy them. What I'm trying to say is there's no cost to entry. You just gotta have a little bit of imagination. I found it's a great way to stay in touch with friends that you may not be able to see from home because everyone's back stuck quarantined now. And maybe you could play with, God forbid, your family that you're quarantined with, too. That's a great way to get people invested since they have nowhere else to go. So I found it's just a great time. It's a fun time. So get out there and play some D&D. This was Tormod's Dumb Guide to Dungeons & Dragons.